All right, guys. Well, I could go live and nobody might see this, or I could go live and it could change one person's life. I could avoid going live and I would change nobody's lives, nobody's life. So I'm going to start off by saying that I'm going to teach the four secrets that I've really uncovered and discovered about personal success. And as I unpack it, I'm going to tell it in a story format. I work with a lot of people. I was just on a coaching call with an executive vice president of a 500 employee large corporation. And he's a very successful individual, his history has primed him for success, which is pretty awesome. He grew up in the business from age 8, and it's been a family business that has gone more corporate over time. But we were talking about what his goals were for the year for the sales teams, and we broke them apart and we started talking about them. And I said, "Here's one question that I'm interested to know what your take is on this. You've established these goals and you have these goals. What is going to prevent you from hitting these goals?" And I said, before you answer, I think that your team, all of them, have the knowledge and skills to hit the goal. So what's going to prevent them from hitting the goals? And he said, that's a good question. And I said, can I share some, of the thought on it? And that's what I'm going to share with you guys. If there's going to be four things, the four secrets to personal success, each person has the opportunity to do their role with excellence, serve a lot of people and produce amazing results. That's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish here when we talk about business coaching and leadership coaching. And the four secrets really were revealed to me through all of the coaching sessions and the pain points that I've experienced people in. So I'm going to share them with you right now, and I hope that you'll actually, take the time to evaluate yourself and try to figure out where am I in a deficit? Where are things low? Because when we got to the point where the vice president of sales was evaluating himself, he did talk about, the first two areas of what I'm going to talk about in the fourth that he evaluated they were low. I already had an evaluation on one of his regional sales managers, and I said, do you know where this gentleman's at with it? And he says, no, I don't. I said, I think that's the key to leadership is you can't lead people if you don't know where they're at. And once you find where they're at, then you help them create a plan to move towards the outcomes, the goals that we're trying to get to. I said, first and foremost, you have to know where we're our own, got to look in the mirror first, but then you have to evaluate other people. Know where the person's energy is. Energy is one of the key secrets to personal success. And I'll explain it, in just a simple terminology. It's mental energy, your ability to focus on one thing aside from everything else, that focus, that burning hot light of energy on your goal so that you eliminate all the distractions. Mental focus, mental energy. Second thing is emotional energy. I've never been able to see somebody that has the emotion of hopelessness or the emotion of anger and frustration inside of them be successful. It doesn't work. I haven't seen it. So we're talking about mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy, that energy that by which we carry out the activities in our day. If we don't have the energy for it, if it's depleted, if it's missing, if there's hormones that are wrong, if there's just quite literally just no exercise that's going on that primes the pump for the energy needed for the activities of the day. Now, physical energy is impacted by the food and the sleep, the stress that we have. So there's this mental, there's this physical, and there's this emotional energy. And I'm comfortable with it nowadays, but I would also say it's the spiritual energy that we carry within us. Because when I talk about spiritual energy, I'm not talking about religion. I'm just talking about, the Spirit of God. I believe in God, the Spirit of God in me, to give me the thoughts, the energy coming from Him through thought is actually where great ideas come from for me every day of the week. So my mental energy, my emotional energy, my physical energy, and my spiritual energy, they have to be primed to be able to achieve personal success. If they're not, if I'm in a deficit in any one of those four, then I'm less likely to achieve success, or it's all but impossible to achieve success. So that's just one of the four secrets to success is how well is our energy primed? Are we in a deficit or are we in an abundance? When we're in an abundance and everything's good, then we're more likely to achieve personal success. The second secret is clarity. There's a lot of people that don't know what they want, or if they do know what they want, they don't have a plan on it. Or if they have a plan on it and they don't have boundaries, other things leak in. So there's this clarity piece of, okay, your energy is primed for personal success, but are you clear on what it is you're trying to accomplish? Do you have a plan? And do you keep the boundaries in place and the structure in place so that you have a knowing that this is clearly, I am here and I'm going there? So most people score really low on an assessment that I created called the inner capacity assessment. What's inside of us that primes us for personal success? Most people score, I'm going to say, out of the hundreds that I've done, I bet you the average score is about 36 out of 50 on the scoring table for both energy and clarity. And those are the two essentials when it comes to personal success. The third essential, the secret, is that you got to have connection. I've really, really enjoyed my year so far. My year started off with I wanted the one word to be surrender. Surrender to God's plan instead of my own. Surrender to carrying all this weight by myself. Surrender to others that are able to help me. I've surrendered a lot, and my connection with God and with people has actually increased because of it. And that's where I get the support that I need to be able to chase big, huge, lofty goals that I have, to write a New York Times bestseller. Why not me? It becomes the question, and who's going to help me? And some revenue and financial goals, and some shifting of my business goals that I'm going through. So as I explain it, without the connections that are supporting me, without the connections that are encouraging me, without the connections that are giving me the tough love that I need, I wouldn't be able to do it. And I would also say that I'm not able to accomplish what I want, personal success, if I don't have connections to others where I know that I'm giving my heart and soul to help them. So the first three are energy, clarity, and connections. And then the fourth one is confidence. This is a huge secret to success. I've never seen a person that lacks confidence be wildly successful. I just don't see it. Now, I'm sure you're going to tell me a story about somebody that didn't have any confidence and was success, but I dare say that if somebody's in a deficit when it comes to their belief in self, their self-worth, their self-esteem, their self-respect, their self-image, if they don't believe in themselves, then how do they achieve personal success? And what I would say is your confidence will start to show itself based on the fact that you believe in yourself and you have follow through. See, what we've done is we've said the energy and the clarity. The clarity is where the plan is conceived. And if you don't believe in the plan or you don't believe in yourself to execute to the plan, then you will be low in confidence and you won't chase the plan. That's where follow through comes in. So these four secrets to success, I will say, are the pump priming individuals, those secrets that give people purpose, direction, and goals that they achieve. Why are so many people struggling with success and wondering about it? Because they're looking outside of themselves. They're trying to change their own behaviors. Well, I guess I'll do this, or I'll do this, or I'll do this. And I can honestly say changing the activities and behaviors that you have without changing your own internal standards, your own internal framework, your own internal capacity for success, you're changing the wrong thing. The action and behaviors can only change when you change what's inside of you first. So the punchline was I shared with the VP of sales that this is what we needed to work on for him, because he had no plan for growth to achieve the goals that he set. He just had goals, but no plan for growth. And growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is better than today. Growth is the only guarantee that the goals that he set, both challenge goals, which are stretch goals, or their primary goals, the ones they have to hit for their budget, there's no guarantee that they're going to hit them if they don't have growth in mind. And he didn't have a plan for growth. So I said, this is what I'd like to do. I want you to take the inner capacity assessment so I can figure out where you have leaks in your standards and capacity to achieve the goals. I'd like you to encourage your two sales managers, of the divisions. And I want you to encourage all of your regional sales managers that go frontline to the salespeople. And I'd like you to encourage all of the salespeople to take the inner capacity assessment. Let's get a good baseline of where people need help before we start making a plan for what their pathway would be to the goals that would help them have personal success. And I said, ultimately, this will give you, and this was me talking to my client, this will give you as the executive vice president of sales, the energy, the clarity, the connection, and the confidence to pursue those goals. Without them, I'm just going to challenge you. I don't know how you get to them. And he said, where do I sign up? So the punchline and the moral of the story is this inner capacity assessment really is the key to unlocking your personal success. And I would just offer, encourage, and maybe challenge each of you as listeners. Why not? Why not comment below and talk about where you think you might be off? Why not grab the link below in the comments and go take the inner capacity assessment? We provide great detail of what the scores mean, and we provide a pathway for how you're going to overcome some of your deficits, how you can improve your energy, how you can improve your clarity, how you can improve your connection, and how you can improve your confidence. Because that's the coaching piece. That's where most people know what they should improve. The people that don't, they have blind spots. But if you know what you're supposed to improve, but you don't know how to improve it, the answer is growth. And we create growth plans for people. We put simple processes and systems in place that make it easy for people to get the growth plans they're looking for so that they can achieve the personal success they want. So I'm offering it to everyone that wants to see it, but I use it every day with my coaching clients. And in this case today, the unlocking the key is we have approximately 39 plus 24 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 people. That's their organizational structure that are all going to be taking the inner capacity assessment so that we can figure out where their energy, clarity, connection, and confidence might not be ready for the personal success that each of those people want. If you'd like this too, comment below, inner capacity, DM me, inner capacity, however you want to reach out to me. I'll make sure that I can help you get the assessment that will help you see and be a predictor of whether you will achieve the personal success you want. So that's it for today. I appreciate as you engage, as you comment, if you talk about these secrets. I want to know where I can best help you. So I only come on here to try to help people. And then I get off because I really don't think that social media is the place that I need to spend a lot of time seeing what other people are doing. But if you need some sort of help to your personal success, to your leadership, to the goals that you have, I'd love to talk to you. Take care. Have a great day.